lot of support here. We're going to cross over to our own Jordan Norris, who is in conversation with the one and only Joe Kelly.
I'm delighted to say that I am joined by the one and only Joe Kelly. Joe, you can't wipe the smile off your face. You're in the door. You're here now for another 5 years. I imagine you're just absolutely delighted.
I am. I'm thrilled, and it's more relief, I suppose, even though from a long time back you would have expected from the tallies that you would get there.
Yeah.
But it's always a huge relief when you're actually over the line and you're declared, elected to the seat, the second seat in the ward, which is 6 seats. So I started off in second place and held it right through the entire count, and now have been elected in second place. So I think that's a really strong showing, and I'd like to thank everybody in the constituency who voted for me, the Tramore City West area. People came out, beyond the 1,000 mark, and that's really, really important. So whatever I might do, it's really down to the people who voted for me, because if they didn't vote for me, I wouldn't be here. So I want to thank everybody.
Most certainly. I know you have plenty of family and friends that you want to mention. I know that your son Niall and Grania, they're watching live from France right now on our stream as well, and they've been listening in all day. So, you've got intercontinental appeal, Joe Kelly. You've got so many people that you want to thank. I know you do.
Yeah, well, as you said, Niall and Grania is over holidaying in France with our granddaughter Rory and their dog Miko. So the whole family have gone over there, and they're all tuning in there watching. They've been in touch with us all through the day, so that's fantastic. But in fairness to WLR, and I just mentioned to you off air, there's loads of people have been contacting me through the day saying how good this show is and how the coverage is so comprehensive. It's the best it's ever been, there's no question about that, and a huge success. So a huge congratulations to yourself, Dimna, Damien and the entire team.
Well, thank you very much for that, Joe, and of course big thanks to Dean and everybody back at base for making that happen. I suppose you've been around a long time. I know you were first elected onto Waterford City and County Council in 2004. This guarantees that you'll have 25 years in a way of public life, but you've experienced what it's like to, I suppose, taste disappointment on an election campaign as well. So that's what makes the jubilation and the joy all the more special, isn't it?
Absolutely. In 2009, the seat that I held at that point, I didn't retain it. So there was a gap between 2009 and 2014. And thankfully in 2014 I was re-elected, 2019 re-elected again, and now today re-elected in 2024. So although I've had mostly positive and happy feelings and experiences of the elections, I have had one of disappointment. So candidates who have been eliminated, throughout the day, I know what that feels. So I know both sides of the coin really, or I've seen both sides of the coin. And it is a very lonely place. Putting yourself forward for elections takes a lot of courage, and there's not many people do it. When you think of the number of candidates against, say, a population, there's not that many people want to put themselves up there, put their head above the parapet, and you can be shot down many times, and often you think like it's unfair, unjust, but that's democracy. So to get such a huge vote and to retain the confidence of the people, for me, is very, very pleasing. And indeed, I have to say, for my wife Frances and my son is Jonathan, Niall and Fergal, who are great help in all of this. Even on the campaign trail, my brother-in-law Jerry Kelly, my own brother John, his wife Goretti, and so on. Even Cathal Lowe, another friend of ours, who came out when he could. We had a small team and not everybody could come out all of the time, so sometimes there'd be only 2 of us or perhaps 3 of us. But even with that team, what we did manage to do, though, was to get as many doors as possible. We didn't just run around leafleting. We want to talk to people, and I think the personal touch really makes a difference. And, I wouldn't have done any of this without that team of family around me.
Certainly.
So they deserve anything that I get. It's down to them as well,
Exactly. It's a reflection of a team effort, Joe Kelly. I'm going to hand things back to Rick now, but for one last time, I want everybody to give a big round of applause. Councillor Joe Kelly.
Thanks, Jordan.